What's up everybody and welcome back to Wolfie. My name is Wolfie and today we're going to be taking a look at issue number 38 of the IDW Sonic the Hedgehog comic series. So without further ado, let's get into this. Alright, so if you guys are new to these comic reviews, here's how they normally go. First I tell you what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it, and then I give it a score. But first I must read it back to you in an overly dramatic fashion. And I do mean overly dramatic. But before we get to that, you can quickly scroll down below, hit that like button, it helps me out a lot, and of course I can wait. We good? Oh yeah, also subscribe if you haven't already for more videos like this one, and ring the bell to let YouTube know that you do want to watch the videos I put out when I put them out. Now, with all that said, I'd also like to quickly shout out my patrons who have helped support these videos by becoming a patron. For less than $2 a month, you guys can get these reviews a little bit earlier, and I'm also considering maybe adding some of my older reaction videos on there, since a lot of people have been requesting them lately. Now that that's all said and done, let's hurry up and get right into this, shall we? Whoa! I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't this. Fascinating. After the events of the last issue, we find our heroes stranded in a whole new space. Hang on, you two. Got a theory about what we're looking at, bud? My hypothesis is that Eggman has created a space where he can somehow circumvent normal spatial laws, thus allowing him to construct an autonomously tessellating, proportionally expansive structure without concern over typical physical limitations. If I can find sufficient evidence to support my hypothesis, then it'll be a theory. We're in a weird bubble where Eggman's messing with physics, I think. Is it some sort of trap? Maybe, but considering how easily we broke out of it, I'm not so sure. Eggman knows what we can do, and if he meant to trap us, he would have compensated for that. There! An exit! As I suspected, this place isn't nearly as big as it looks. Anything's better than here. Let's go! Once our heroes zap through the exit, they find themselves in a brand new uncharted territory. And now my hypothesis is a theory. Solid ground, my favorite. Maybe don't celebrate yet, cause this place is giving me some seriously weird vibes. Back outside the tower. There it is. I'll bring us in easy. Oof. Or not. Looks like we'll need to find another way to get back. That's a problem for future us. Let's get in there. Definitely looks like Sonic came this way. Perfect. With any luck, we can catch up with him in no time. Belle! Sorry. Come on, just follow my lead. I'm an expert stealther. While Tangle and Belle sneak their way through the interior of the tower, they spot various egg pawns and badniks working through the portals. That's different. Are they building something? Anything they can build, we can bust. Let's start climbing. Has that pawn squad gotten the hole fixed yet?
Looks like they all got lost.
Send in another one then. Oh, what a mess. So much for having a quiet, nice job. How did Sonic and his friends even find out about this base? At least they're stuck in Chamber 1.
They got into Chamber 2.
They can do that?
I'm as surprised as you are.
Cubot, you know what we have to do.
Oh, say it ain't so.
I'm sorry, but there's no other way.
Just get it over with. Maybe he won't pick up?
I'm busy, so make it quick. What have you two messed up now?
Nothing at all. It's just...
You're interrupting some very important brainstorming, Orbot.
There might be a slight hitch in operations.
Sonic and his buddies broke into the test chambers.
Boss? You're not yelling at us.
Do you think he's finally losing his touch?
Shut it, Cubot. So, Sonic's arrived. It's unexpected, but perhaps not entirely unwelcome. As they say, when life gives you lemons. I'll take it from here.
That was Dr. Eggman. Yep, and if he's planning something, we really need to find the others. I didn't expect him to sound so... Ah! Belle! Ow! As Belle lands on the platform below, she quickly finds herself surrounded by egg pawns, who simply walk right past her. Eek! What was that all about? I have no idea. The truth, you wanted to come here more than I did. Why? I wasn't sure before, but this proves it. Whatever I was built with inside, it's the same as them. I am a badnik, but I don't want to hurt anyone. I just need answers, and the only person who would know is Dr. Eggman. If you want to leave or smash me, I understand. Huh? Sonic and Tails vouched for you, so you're alright in my book. Besides, it doesn't matter what you are or where you came from. because you're trying to do good today. Don't worry, I'm sure we can find you some answers. Back at the seemingly abandoned city, Sonic, Tails, and Amy are still trying to make heads and tails of where they are. Something is definitely up here. Yeah, the design of those houses is so tacky. Oh, and the whole completely abandoned thing too. That's not great. I'll take a look around. Wait, this place is probably using the same spatial warping as the maze. Huh, so it is. No problem, I'll just overload it again and... Guys, look! This one's open. Hello? Maybe there's something in here that can... Oh! Hi! Sorry for barging in, but could you tell us where... we are? Are those test dummies? I'm officially upgrading this situation from weird to super creepy. Just then, a loud noise startles our trio. They begin to trace the source of the noise, following it all the way to a bathroom, where a large caterpillar badnik gets the jump on them. Duh! With some quick thinking, Amy makes short work of the caterpillar. Absolutely not! Oh, come on! What is up with these badniks? They're combinations? As long as they're still smashable. You said it, Amy. This time Sonic leaps into action, destroying the badniks in the bathroom before blocking up the doorway. Block the windows, don't let any more of them in. Right. Uh-oh. That's not good. Sonic, the whole street's full of badniks. There are way too many for us to handle head on. So we're stuck in here with no room to run. Fantastic. We've bought ourselves a little time at least. Time to make a plan. Alright, I'm all ears. What's next? Actually, I was hoping you might have some ideas. I should be able to track the badniks' wireless comm signals back to their source. That might get us to an exit. Give me a minute to get the sensors calibrated. Great, that's a start. We still don't know why any of this is happening though. I'm still betting on it being a trap, but it all kind of feels arbitrary and impersonal. Eggman does like to rub it in our faces when he thinks he's got us. Ugh, all this mystery is putting my quills on edge. Ho 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 ho! Now that's more like it. I'd know that laugh anywhere. Where are you, Eggman?
Far from your reach, Hedgehog.
What's the plan, Doc? Trap us in here and force us to live on burnt toast?
Trap you? Not at all. This whole place is a test. Not for you, though. For my most cutting-edge technological concepts. A crucible, you might say, for what can become the next generation of mechanical monstrosities let loose upon your unsuspecting planet. So really, I should thank you for breaking in. After all, now I get to test my toys on some real dummies. Ho 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 ho! Next time, a backstage pass. And that was issue number 38, so let's quickly talk about what happened in this one. There's not really much to say because not really a lot happened in this book, but there are some things I would like to talk about. So the way things immediately started off, a lot of people in the last video said, and I asked in the comment section, what do you guys think, was, could this wind up being, because a lot of you guys thought that this could wind up being the special stage zone, like the place where all these special stages in the Sonic games take place, and the way it looks, just from a quick glance, I was thinking, you know what? You guys are probably right. These do look like images from the special stages from the Sonic games, and mostly the old classic ones where they're kind of nonsensical, like platforms here and there all over the place, like taking place in these weird spatial areas where there's like dimensional stuff floating around. And yeah, it did look like that, but it didn't seem to be the case, as we find out by the end of the book, that this is all merely Eggman's doing. Though he didn't mean to trap them in there, it's like he built this place, or maybe he built a place to access this weird interdimensional area. It does almost remind me of the old Archie comics in which, like, the Zone Cop, I think his name was Sonic, would, like, go through interdimensional planes to get to different zones and dimensions and universes. That's what this kind of reminds me of, a little bit. Almost a little Doctor Strangey still, but I still don't know how Eggman built this place or accessed this place. I'm sure that'll be discovered or at least told to us later on in these books. But yeah, the first exit door they find, they go through and it winds up being this abandoned, eerily empty town. And I was thinking, this is going to be interesting to see because it's like, at first, tell me what you guys thought, but the way I looked at it was when they first got to this abandoned city, I was like, uh-oh. Did they go to the Doom timeline in which the Metal Virus saga was never cured? Or is this another Doom timeline in which here like Sonic fell, or is this like, what is this place? Because it's just gray, it's kind of, the colors are muted, the town just looks really almost eerie looking with how empty it is. And I was like, ooh, this could be interesting. So what if they wound up in a different dimension? No, not really. Again, answered later on, Eggman is testing these, I guess he's testing new badniks and new, like, mechanic stuff in these small abandoned towns that he made, like these little fake towns that he made all over the place, I guess. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. So from what I can tell, maybe this is a new testing facility that he set up after the failures of the Metal Virus arc. Perhaps now Eggman is now seeing, oh yeah, maybe I should start testing my mechanics before I start dumping them onto the planet, because who knows how these might wind up going. At least if, say, for example, he releases a metal creation that's like out of his control, he can just kind of close off that portal and be like, well, that didn't work. Time to dust my hands clean of that. I'll never see that creation again. That's just stranded in that void. So yes, I can kind of see that being a pickup from the Metal Virus arc, where Starline told him, hey, you don't test enough, you don't think too far ahead enough to, you know, keep a hold on your creations, and that's why you wind up failing, besides Sonic, the other variable. But I like that. I like to think in my headcanon that the reason he has these weird spatial void maze-like testing facilities is because of how bad the Metal Virus failed, and maybe that's just a result of that. But anyways, I'm just headcanon theorizing what's happening here. But Belle and Tangle also find the place where Sonic, Tails, and Amy are. I'm wondering how they're going to wind up playing into this, because now, with them going through and kind of sneaking through the base to kind of overhear the plans from Cubot and Orbot about what's happening, as well as the conversation with Eggman, in which, oh, so Sonic, Tails, and Amy are in one of these dimensional doors, caught in one of these things, and now Eggman is going to be raining hell on them or something, we don't know. But I'm guessing they're going to be the key to them escaping this. I don't know how Belle and Tangle are going to do it. I guess maybe they can find the whatever portal door they went into and maybe help them escape that way. But yeah, one thing I did find interesting with the dynamics of Sonic, Tails, and Amy is that despite how they are kind of like in this abandoned town, I like that Amy kind of walks up on what she thinks is going to be like a stranger, but it winds up being a dummy, and she's like, excuse me, I'm sorry we barged in. And it's like, oh, it's a dummy. But yeah, it's like, oh, this is super eerie, right until they reveal that it was an Eggman testing point. Oh, I forgot to mention one of the big major reveals that I guess we all knew, but like the characters are kind of finding this out a little bit by little, is that Belle kind of slips up and falls in front of some egg pawns, and the egg pawns are just like, whatever, you're one of us. They just kind of walk past her without even thinking twice. And Tangle's like, the heck was that about? Like, you want to explain what this is all about? And something I was actually surprised about was Belle kind of admitting when normally she seemed more reserved and not willing to share the secrets. Perhaps because she was caught red-handed, or more that she got caught but they didn't catch her. So I guess the jig is up and you really can't not explain what happens at that point. Otherwise Tangle's going to be very untrusting of you. So she kind of more or less explains what she's doing there for to Tangle, and why she's she's trying to figure out what's going on with her via Eggman. So if we're to believe what she's saying right off the bat, what she's saying is she's just trying to get answers from him and nothing more. I don't, that she's not trying to convert him back to Mr. Tinker or whatever. It just seems like she just wants some answers. Of course, Tangle being Tangle is quick to forgive and is just like, yeah, sure, we'll help you. We'll help you get those answers, don't you worry. So I'm like, Tangle, you're my girl. I love Tangle so much, and what can I say? She's one of my favorites. Her and Whisper are definitely some of the breakout stars of the IDW books. If you couldn't tell, I got Tangle right here on the hat. You probably can't really see it that well, but she's been there the whole time. Also, I got a Blaze pin. The Sega store had the Blaze pin for a bit. Also, I don't know if that's gonna show up on camera either. But yeah, like, I went on a tangent. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh right. So yeah, back at the place, it's like they're discovering that I guess Eggman is filling this weird town full of mixed up hybrid badniks that are like mixed and matched pieces of each other. Because there are some that look like, there's one with the coconut monkey head on top of, the grabby I forget what that badnik is called. The one in Chemical Plant that kind of dives down and scoops you up and holds you up and then explodes. It's got the coconut monkey head on it. There's the I'm sorry, I cannot remember most of these badniks' names. But like, yeah, they're mixed and matched. You got like a buzz bomber part attached to a caterpillar, and it's like, what are you testing all these weirdo badniks for? But yeah, Sonic, Tails, and Amy wind up being trapped inside. They kind of talk to Eggman, who's like, yeah, this is you kind of discovered a testing facility. I didn't actually want to trap you here, but now I can kind of test some of my crazier creations on you. And that's where the book kind of ends off on a cliffhanger. Like I said, not a lot happening in this book as far as reveals or action is concerned. There's a little bit here and there, but not a lot compared to previous issues. And again, this is more, I believe this is also this is still Evan Stanley's arc, and she has a different approach to storytelling compared to oh my god, I'm blanking on names right now, but yeah, the previous writer, Ian Flynn. Sorry, wow, I lost it for a second. Ian Flynn. Yeah, she has a different writing style than Ian Flynn. She likes to build her stuff up more, and that may or may not work for some readers. I particularly don't mind the slower approach, but I'm 100% sure most of the comments of this section is going to be people saying, oh, this is so boring, it's so slow, nothing's happening. But you know, it's like, you can't please people either way. You got, like in the Zombot arc, when constant things were happening, people were like, it's too dark, I don't like it, there's too much action, blah, blah, blah. And then you got people who are like, chill, they're doing a story right now. But it's like, you can't please people either way, but it's just find it funny where it's like, you really have a hard time trying to strike a balance. Not the writer, but I'm just saying, as a writer for a book, I'd have a hard time trying to balance action with stakes and also character development, because my favorite things in books are character development, building on a mystery or some sort of subtext that winds up being important later on in a book, or just action, which is also good. This book didn't really have much of that. I guess that could be my major complaint, is that it's a slower book. After the last one, I was kind of hoping we'd pick up, because the last one developed the mystery of this maze. We now know that the maze was created by Eggman, so at least some questions were answered, but still a little too slow. I'm hoping the next issue, based on how this one ended, is that we're gonna have a huge badnik fight, perhaps with some returning badnik faces, or, you know, something really crazy and that we haven't seen in a while. If I were, you know, I'm just saying, if I were a betting man, we could maybe see something like the Metal Sonic from Knuckles Chaotix that was probably scraped after his devilish, horrific debut. I don't know, maybe some Silver Sonics from the, you know, bring back some badniks we haven't seen in a while, since this is supposedly an Eggman testing facility. He can drop some badniks that we maybe are familiar with, or maybe ones we haven't seen before that are crazy combinations. It'd be really cool to see that. With Tangle and Belle still out there, their whole story is going to be kind of figuring out how they can get Sonic, Tails, and Amy out of there. Yeah. Oh, another thing I want to talk about real quick. Orbot and Cubot having a kind of funny exchange when they're like, yeah, we should probably tell Eggman about what's happening, and they're kind of scared. They're like, I guess we could just tell him, right? And they just kind of like have this reaction where they're like, Sonic, Tails, and Amy got in. You're not yelling. Are you okay? You know, it's like, I like that kind of thing where it's like Eggman's like, no, this is actually kind of good. We can make this work. So yeah, other than that, I'm trying to think of anything else that happened in this book that is of note. Not really much. That not knocking on the writing, because like I said, she has a different writing style, and I'm patiently waiting to see how this all pays out. Because honestly, it's not so much the it's not the destination, it's the journey. In this case, I'm going to reverse it. Since this is her first, you know, story arc, I'm going to wait till the end of it and see how all this pays out. Will Belle have a full character arc? Will she affect things later on? Will she have a major play in this? How does this whole maze thing play into things with Sonic, Tails, and Amy being trapped in there? Will all these things be answered with a at least satisfying conclusion? If all this winds up happening, I'm okay with it being a slower series of books. That being said, I will give this one, I said what I liked. I said what I didn't like, it being a little bit slower, but again, I'm pacing myself on these books. I do appreciate a little bit of a slower arc, actually, to kind of help tone things down after the craziness that was the robot Zombot arc. I will give this one a 7.9 out of 10. That's not bad. 7 is like passing. That's good. Like 10 out of 10, which I never give. Like there's no such thing as a perfect story. But 10 out of 10, about 9 out of 10 is like amazing. 8 out of 10 is like great. A 7 out of 10 is good. 6 out of 10 is passing. 5 out of 10 is like meh, average, you know, and so forth. But 7.9 out of 10 is still pretty high. I'm hoping the next issue picks up a little bit. I'm not asking it to go down to like this big major battle or some sort of character changing reveal, but like pick it up a little bit on the next one and I think we'll be good. Yeah, I do think, honestly, I do think, sadly, that most of the mystery of this arc hinges on us not knowing why Belle was after Eggman, but it can't be that obvious. That's the thing. Where it's like everybody immediately guessed that she was based on Mr. Tinker, based on her outfit and all that. And it's like, it can't be that obvious, could it? It really couldn't. Maybe they're about to throw us for a loop at the end of this. Maybe Belle will maybe the doorbell will ring. All right, well, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I literally lost my train of thought, so I apologize if I was on a good thought there, but like, it's gone now. The doorbell rang and it distracted me. But yeah, I think other than what I said, I gave this a 7.9 out of 10. Yeah, okay, that's gonna do it for the review. Let me know what you guys think of this and how it's developing. What do you think is gonna happen in the future? Let me know in the comment section below. Hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already for more videos like this one, and ring the bell, please, to let YouTube know that you want to watch these videos when I put them out, because people are not getting notifications that these videos are out anymore. YouTube, the algorithm does not favor my videos that much. Anyway, final shout out goes to my patrons. Again, for less than $2, you guys can be patrons too, and also get these videos a little bit earlier than the YouTube side. Thank you guys so much. You guys I like these guys, they're cool. Now, that all is finished. I think that's gonna do it for the review, guys. Wash your hands, wear your mask, and social distance. Be safe out there, and be smart. Anyway, guys, I'll see you all next time. So in the meantime, stay tuned. My hypothesis is that Eggman has created a space where he can somehow ooh, damn, this is gonna be a big one. Thus allowing him to construct an autonomously tessellating Thus allowing him to construct an autonomously tessellating, proportionally expansive structure without concern over typical physical limitations. Did I get it? For what could become the next generation of mechanical monstrosities Damn it! That's so hard to say. For what could become the next generation of mechanical monstrosities let loose upon your I almost got it, damn it.